Dear students, very good afternoon to all of you. I'm sitting here in the computer lab, uh, not to perform some trick here or to make some program, but to shoot the video. Okay, today we will learn new thing. We will discuss a new story here, fascinating story written by A.G. Wells, propounder of science fictions there. So many stories are there written by Goldsworthy that has been adapted to films. And here this story was also adapted to films. I think the name of the film was The Hollow Man. Okay, you can watch it. Very fascinating. It is exactly at par with the story. The way it rolls, the cinema, that movie is also will also roll the same way. So here come to the main point. Here, before the story begins, it is written there about Goldsworthy and about, in a nutshell, what is happening there inside the story. Because this is an excerpt, it is taken out from the story, a particular part, a particular incident which has been taken out from the main story, so that you don't find yourself in the middle of the sea. It is given in the beginning that what happened before that. There was a scary scientist like me, and this scientist found out a way to get invisible. So before he could find out to make the whole process reverse, he applied it in himself, and he became invisible consequently. So what happened? Sorry. So what happened, after that? No one could see him. Now you can just stay in such condition where no one can see you, and still you are roaming, you are moving the objects. So people will become too much curious. They might reach harm to you. So generally what we do, in order to get ourselves visible, we put down our mask. But that scary scientist, he used to wrap himself up with all the bandages and all kinds of heavy clothes so that people can see him. It was exactly like opposite. So what happens when you are living in a locality and you are putting up all the clothes all the time and wrapping your face up with a bandage? What happens after that? People will feel strange about you. They will think that something mysterious is going around you, and that is why the title here is given Mysterious Visitor. Why the visitor is mysterious? Because nothing is available to know about that person. No one knows how he looks, what is his skin color, where from did he come, or what does he do. No one knows it. That's why the particular visitor is termed to be a mysterious one. So here in such a town, very far away from the hubbub and din of the city, this particular scientist, he finds an inn to stay, to continue his research so that he can find out a way to reverse the whole process. And there he was staying for a long time, but what happened after some time that he could not pay the rent to the landlady. So the landlady and the landlord, they were really feeling awkward that how are we supposed to serve him, carry out his orders if he is not paying us to arrange those things for him. So they were in a fix to find out a way how to approach him, because he was not such a person to communicate with other people. He was such an uncommunicative person. So people used to get afraid of him because he was ill-tempered too with being uncommunicative. So what happened one day, there was a pub adjacent to the inn, and so many people, they came to the pub. As you go in some restaurants, they were having a chat, and the main topic of their chat was that the sporadic burglary that has been occurring there for some time in that peaceful village. Before that, nothing such sort of a burglary or any kind of stealing or any kind of horrible thing happened there in the town of Epping. It was a serene, placid, quiet, tranquil town. Okay, with the advent of the mysterious visitor, actually, this served as if you were throwing a stone in a steel pond, and the rebels failed till the end. Okay, so people, they found that the moment the mysterious visitor reached there in their town, right from that time, sporadic incidents of burglary started occurring. So they were making two and two. Two and two means what? They were thinking that yes, this must be the man who had been behind all these burglaries. So they were discussing in the pub. There was Mr. Hall, there was Sandy Burgess, the blacksmith, Mr. Hall, the pub owner, and they were discussing what to do, and they were expecting some answers from church officials. Okay, because already a vicar's house, vicar means the official of the church, in his house there was a burglary. Okay, so what happened? They were expecting answers. A person who was there, who works in a court, and they were trying to ask him what to do. Should they approach the court? Should they approach the police and notice and lodge a complaint or make a diary that we don't know who this person is, he only pays us, but this is also stopped, he is not paying us for a long time. And the moment the visitor reached there in the town of Epping, it is the same moment that all these sporadic occurrences of burglary had started. So we expect or we suspect that this man must have some hand behind all these burglaries. They were discussing and they were trying to find out a way to approach the judge in order to inform him that something is fishy with that particular person who is staying there in the inn. So right at that time, this our mysterious visitor, you can imagine me there in his place, of course. I'm that kind of eccentric person, you know, whatever. So he was just walking to and fro inside his room in a fit of rage, because he had been calling the waiter for a long time for food, but no one did give any respect or any attention to his call. So he was very much angry and he was irritated that what on earth that these persons are not paying heed to my orders. They are supposed to carry out my orders, but why am I being ignored in such a brutal way? And not only that, he was cursing them, those persons, calling the gods like God damn it, and he was throwing the bottles and breaking them inside his room. Now you can imagine which kind of person will break bottle inside the room where he is staying. Yes, that kind of person was he, and he became so much irritated that he did not care whether those pieces of glasses will harm him in later or not, whatever. So later what happened? And he got more irritated after watching those people sitting in the pub, pointing their fingers towards his house, and they were whispering into each other's ears. That actually get on his nerves, and he became so much ill-tempered, so much irritated. Okay, so at last, when he found nothing else to do, he came out and called for the landlady, Mrs. Hall. There were some attendants there, some waiters. They informed Mrs. Hall that you are being summoned by that mysterious visitor. So she came there and she asked her that I think you are supposed to pay me before you leave the inn. So without answering it properly, actually it was that mysterious visitor who said that, who asked another question, that why am I not being heard? Why all my orders are being ignored such a brutal way by all the waiters here? Am I not supposed to be served here? So then Mrs. Hall asked her another question, that if you expect service from the waiters, then it is better that you pay us. There are 5 days due are there. So you need to pay us first, only then we can serve you. So then the mysterious visitor said that I am supposed to receive some money, but it is still not reached. Okay, you need some money, let me give you some money which I have in my pocket. Right then Mrs. Hall became so much suspicious that he could not restrain herself, asking him that the week before that day you told me that you are out of money and you were expecting some check. Right now all of a sudden you are telling that you have some money in your pocket and which you want to offer to me. How is this possible that a week before you were penniless and this week you became so much occupied with money? How is it possible for you? Now see, asking someone about the source of his income and the amount of his income is rude. It is considered rude. And visibly, that mysterious visitor, who was himself an ill-tempered person, became more ill-tempered and irritated. And he asked Mrs. Hall that how on earth can you ask me such questions, such personal questions? So heated altercations was going on, and there were some people who were sitting in the pub encouraging Mrs. Hall to get on to that particular person's strange visitor and to corner him more and more. So the whole thing was going on. Here we read up to that during our online classes. We will see what happened afterwards, and I believe that this is going to be nice and very much interesting and humorous too for all of us. This story is written in such a way. Okay, that is all for today, students. We will meet again. Till then, let's call it a day. Thank you very much.